So I came upon this very interesting, to say the least, article from Reuters recently that I think goes a long way in helping to clarify what it is that they mean when they keep repeating that we must protect our shared European values. I think that is being exemplified more and more by articles just like this. Now, the article in question is one from Reuters, and it's headline something like, let's have a look here. Russians take language tests to avoid expulsion from Latvia. Let's dig into this one. So here it is. Russians take language tests to avoid expulsion from Latvia. Expulsion as in deportation, exile, because based on the fact that they're Russian and would not take the test or could not pass the test, they will have to leave the country where they've been living for decades. A lot of these Russians voted for independence during the collapse of the Soviet Union. And in any case, they've been living there for decades. So now what, they have to suddenly show their loyalty when Latvia is not even at war with Russia? This is a kind of ethnic cleansing. How are they able to do this? You know, we've had this in Europe before, or in the West before, where in, for example, the United States and Canada, Japanese were interned in certain kind of camps based on the fact that they were Japanese. And, well, are we going to do that again? Now they have reparations that they're paying to Japanese up until this day because of what happened then. Anyway, let's have a look here. So according to Reuters here, it says, let's see. It gets better. In a Stalinist skyscraper which dominates the skyline of Latvia's capital, dozens of elderly Russians wait to take a basic Latvian language test as proof of loyalty to a country where they have lived for decades. Right, exactly. And look, it gets better. Elderly. So they're making old people wait in line to take a test to show their loyalty because these old people somehow pose a threat to the country. There's no war between, well, officially anyway, between Latvia and Russia. They've been there for decades. They're elderly. Why should they have to take a test? Oh, okay, because, sorry, they're Russian, that's why. Otherwise they get deported. How degrading is that? Imagine the country you're living in told you that you have to take a test in order to prove your loyalty. And you've been living there for, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years. It's degrading. And because they're Russians? And what? So they're not, let's say they're not going to participate. They're going to be expelled? They're going to be deported? That's the definition of ethnic cleansing. That's what that is. You can do it through a variety of manners, and this is one of them. This is actually a very common method of ethnic cleansing. Anyway, clutching red Russian passports, the participants mostly women. Oh, okay. So old ladies, old babushkas are a threat to Latvia. Must be a really weak country if that's a threat. I mean, come on. I like the Baltic states, but this is nuts. Fearing they may be expelled from the Baltic country if they fail. Speaking Russian instead of Latvian has not been a problem until now. But the war in Ukraine has changed the picture. Okay. Alright, the government now demands a language test from the 20,000 people in the country holding Russian passports. Alright. Well, don't they have permission to stay there? What if they have a Latvian passport as well? I don't think they're going to be kicked out then. They can't, at least not according to today's laws. Mostly elderly and female, as the loyalty of Russian citizens is a worry. Okay. Alright, well, so what is this? Fascism? You have to be loyal to the state, otherwise you're deported. If you're, according to this article here, if you speak Russian and can't pass a Latvian test. Oh, so having a Russian passport, doesn't matter if you have another one or you don't. You have a Russian passport and you can't or won't pass a language test, that means you're not loyal to this. This is fascism. They're trying to get rid of these people. And if I'm deported, I would have nowhere to go. I've lived here for 40 years. Right, that's the case for many of those people. said Valentina Sevastianova, 70, a former English teacher and Riga guide, after her final Latvia lesson in a private language. So they're making these older people go take language lessons just so they can do this test. Let's see. I took the Russian passport in 2011 to easily visit my sick parents in Belarus. They are gone now. Yeah, lots of these people, that you need, you need a passport in this world, right? A lot of these Russians were not eligible for Latvian citizenship. Instead, they get these passports in Latvia, non-citizenship or non-citizen passports that say on the cover, not a Latvian citizen, because they couldn't get citizenship. So they need a passport, so they can't get a Latvian one. They're going to get the Russian one. Why? There could be many reasons. They want to visit family, sick family in Belarus. Oh, they want to travel to Russia. Maybe they have family in Russia. Maybe that's where their roots are. Maybe they want to take a vacation to Italy or to Thailand. You need a passport, so why wouldn't they have one? And anyway, what business of the state is it that they have a Russian passport? Well, they have one because they have one. Get lost. It made them eligible for retirement at 55, a pension from Russia and visa-free travel to Russia and Belarus. Right, exactly. There are practical reasons. It doesn't mean that you're disloyal. This is fascistic to make these people, and old grandmas, babushkas in this case, take a language test to prove that they're loyal to the state of Latvia. Or else what? They're going to ethnically cleanse them and deport all of them, expel them, put them in exile? I think this happened in Europe around 7 years ago. It didn't go too well. 7 years ago and also more. During World War I, they had internment or these kinds of special, let's call them camps. Anyway, Russian citizens under 75 who do not pass the test by the end of the year will be given a reasonable time to leave. If they do not leave, they could face a forced expulsion. Well, there we go. There we go. That's ethnic cleansing right there. That is fascism. They cannot stay. They'll be giving a reasonable. By the way, what's a reasonable time to leave? After, let's see, this guy. Let's say you're 75 or 7 years old. You've been there for 4 years. What's a reasonable time to leave your life of 40, 50 years? What, a week? 2 days? 24 hours? Immediately leave or what? Get executed? Forced expulsion. That is insane. These are the European values, aren't they? When they talk about, oh, we need to come together and protect our European values. Is this what they mean? Fascism? Is this what they mean? Proving loyalty to the state through mandated language tests, ethnic cleansing, deportations, expulsions? Oh, I guess these must be European values. That's what I see here. They voluntarily decide to take the citizenship not of Latvia but of another state. And so you let them live there. And by the way, how many of those people could not? I wonder if they voluntarily chose to take the citizenship not of Latvia but of another state because they couldn't get the Latvian citizenship. I'm sure that's the case for many of these people. And even if it's not, what is the problem? Like the article says, there's a multitude of reasons to have another citizenship, including a Russian one. Why is that a problem? Is there a war? They don't say that, at least officially. And even if there was, is it right? You're paying reparations now to victims of the Japanese internment camps during World War II. So clearly that was wrong. But this is right? Is it right now, but it will be wrong 20 years from now, 50 years from now? Will Latvia be paying reparations to these Russians then? Anyway, people live in a Russian environment. They speak with only Russians. Why not? It's a large diaspora, she said. There are Russian-speaking workplaces. Yeah, there's a lot of Russians in Latvia. Anyway, I guess these are the European values. Expulsions, deportations, proving loyalty to the state. Nice.